when we read the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge is so crystal clear like a shining sun in the sky at noontime. We were saying between the divine and demoniac, we should choose which path? Divine path. In the divine also, I said there are two, pious and spiritual. We should choose which one? Spiritual. In spiritual also, there are two categories. There are people who are trying to get rid of cycle of birth and death and go to the impersonal effulgence and rest there in peace. And there are others who are bhaktas who cross beyond that platform of peace to go to the positive axis of love, where they meet the Lord face to face and engage in loving devotion service. They are Vaishnavas. So between jnana and bhakti yoga, which one should choose? Bhakti yoga. Because bhakti yoga gives you a direct audience with the Lord. You can meet Him, love Him, serve Him, and eternally engage in pastimes with Him. That is superior. Now, after knowing this, by reading the Bhagavad Gita, when you approach many of the commentaries of Bhagavad Gita, they talk about detachment, they talk about equanimity, they talk about so many philosophical points, and they keep Krishna and Arjuna far away. They never bring Krishna Arjuna, most of the commentaries. That's what Prabhupada said. They have deviated from the actual purpose of Gita. If you want to know the actual purpose of Gita, it is there in 7.1. Maya saktamana partah yogam yunjan madashrayah asamshayam samagram mam yata jnasasi tarshruno. Arjuna, the goal of Bhagavad Gita is not detachment. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is attachment. To whom? To me, he says. Mayi asaktamanaha, he says. Asaktamana means, I will teach you, Arjun, how you can make your mind become attached to me. And now you hear that knowledge. From that he starts in the 7th chapter of the Gita, where he says that he is a source of all the spiritual worlds and all the material worlds. In two places he says, 7.4, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhireva chahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, all these material elements come from me and they belong to me, he says. Then he says, Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidyame param jivabhuta mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. Beyond this material world, there is a spiritual world which is filled with spiritual living entities and who are all lovingly engaged in service to the Supreme God. And that is the spiritual energy, which is also mine, he says. Material energy is created by me and it is mine. Spiritual world is created by me and it is mine, he says. In this way, he says, he is a cause of all causes. Anything you take in this world, right now I am sitting on a mat. The mat is material energy of Krishna. And I am addressing all of you. You are all spiritual energies of Krishna. There is nothing that is not Krishna. So this he teaches in the 7th chapter. Then he says, not only is the cause of all causes, in 10.8 also he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Arjuna, if one comes to know that I am the source of everything, they fall in love with me and they worship me with great devotion, all from their hearts, he says. Iti matva means those who accept this fact. Bhajante mam. The word bhaja means voluntarily, lovingly, from the heart, glorifying the Lord. Buddha, they are the most intelligent people, he says. So one who knows Krishna to be the cause of all causes. And then he says he is the essence of everything, beginning from the 7.7 to 7.13. You will find in the Bhagavad Gita. Tasohamapsa kaunteya prabhasmi shashisuryayoho pranavas sarva vedeshu shabdakke paurusham drushu punyo gandha prativyamscha tejaschasmi vivavasau jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu vejam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasmi namaham balam balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha echaiva satvika bhava rajasastamasa ye mattaye veti tan vidhi natpaham teshu te maye trivirgunamayer bhaverye visarvamidam jagat mohitam na vijanati mame vyaf paramavyayam. This is 7.7, 7.15, 7.13. So these verses, Krishna says, I am the essence of liquids. Like, for example, the taste of water, the taste of juices. That is me. He says, I am the light of the sun. I am the heat of the sun. I am the light of the moon. With sun, I am creating vegetables, fruits, and everything. With moon, I am filling them up with juices. And he says, I am the strength of the strong, intelligence of the intelligent. So, in this way, he says that for all the living entities, I am the original seed from whom they all have originated. So, in this world, it is not very difficult to find Krishna. Wherever you turn around, you only see his energy spread out everywhere. This is the first step in developing attachment to him. No one can be separated from him even for a moment. And then, as he proceeds, not only he says he is the essence of everything, because in anything, essence is the most important thing, correct? No? Like the essence of a fan is it should rotate and give you air, isn't it? The essence of water is it should quench your thirst. That means without essence, any entity would be rendered null and void. And that essence is Krishna. He says that. Like a seed, if it doesn't germinate, what's the use of a seed? So the essence is him, he says. So then he also says that he's the best of everything. Like he's not a puddle of water, he's not a pond, he's not a lake. He says, amongst the water bodies, I am ocean, he says. Among the mountains, I am Mount Everest, he says. That means in every object you see in this world, you find excellence or unsurpassable situation, which is the best thing. And he says that is him, he says. So in this way, in the 10th chapter, he gives more than 80 opulences. So one should study these things in the Gita and contemplate how Krishna is the cause of all causes, essence of everything, the best of everything. Like we all are attracted to the best things in the world. Is it not true? And he says he's the best. If you're attracted to anything best, you should know that the best is possessing the best because it is Krishna's opulence. So, and then after saying all these things, he says, how my devotees approach me. He says, my devotees come together, they discuss about me, pastimes of me and my activities, and they delight in explaining about me to one another. They sing, they dance, they delight in their hearts, remembering me and relishing me and repeating about me to others. This is the nature of my devotees. And even for one moment, they cannot be separated from me, like a fish cannot be separated from water. My devotees don't want to do anything other than me, he says. Just as a child who does not know anybody in this world other than the mother, as soon as there is any danger, the child can only think of the mother. Like that, my devotees, they can't be separated from me even for a moment, he says. And then after saying all this, he says, what do I do for my devotees? That's the most important thing. He says that even if my devotee is an illiterate, he cannot read the spiritual text, I, seated in their heart, I destroy all the darkness and I inspire my devotee more and more to realize the same truths mentioned in the scriptures by simply living in the association of devotees. A devotee will come to realize by hearing from devotees, by entering devotional service. And I help my devotees. Somebody may say, what if your devotee falls down in this world? Krishna says, quickly they will get up. Chupram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigachati. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. My devotee will never perish, Arjun. Even if they sleep sometimes, they repent bitterly and they wake up and they walk again like a toddler child, getting up and walking. No mother will want to see a toddler child fail. She will lend her helping hand. I also lend my helping hand to my devotee to wake up the devotee and bring him to me. But then somebody may say the material existence is like a vast ocean. All jivas are drowning. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, how do you say your devotees will be delivered? He says, Tesham aham samuddarta mritya samsara sagarat. I will personally come to deliver my devotee, Krishna says. But then there are so many obstacles even in spiritual life. Somebody may say, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atachvetvam ahamkaram na shoshyasi vinangshasi. Arjun, mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. By my mercy, you can cross over all the obstacles in your life. You just obey my words. Listen to me and then do what I tell you. And I will personally come like a boat to cross you over this material existence. But somebody may say, but I am low born. I am not so qualified to study the Vedas. And he says, Triyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Te Apiyanti Paramgatim. Even if some woman says, I'm not learned in Sanskrit, I can't study the scriptures. Or if businessman says, I'm always counting money, I'm busy. Or somebody says, I don't have so much spiritual inclination to study the vast Vedic literature. He says that even if they do little service, patram pushpam phalam toyam, they offer me little flower or fruit or water, with little service rendered with love, I can deliver all kinds of people. What to speak of humans? Even animals and birds have become my devotees. Hanuman has become a devotee. Jatayu has become a devotee. Garuda is my devotee. One small squirrel pleased me. In this way, he says, anybody can come to me. It's very easy, Arjun. It's not difficult at all. Anyone in any order of life, caste, creed, color, nationality, there is no restriction for my devotee. And my expectation from the devotee is only one thing. Because my devotee loves me, I waive off all other demands from my devotee. In this way, Krishna in the 12th chapter, 12 to 20, he gives a long list of 7, 8 list of verses where he talks about which are the devotees who are very dear to him. If any of you want to become dear to Krishna, you should go to that section. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karunaye vacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukhakshami santushta satatam yogi yadatma drida nishchayah mayyarpita manobuddhir mame vashyasi asamshayah. Either he goes, Anapeksha Shitirjaksha Udasino Gatabgatah Sarvaramba Parityagi Yomad Bhakta Samepriyah Samashatraucha Mitrecha Tadamana Pamanayoho Chitoshta Sukadukeshu Samasanga Vivarjitah Tulya Ninda Sutir Mauni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketa Stiramatir Bhaktiman Me Priyo Naraha Yetu Dharma Amritamidam Yatoktam Paryupasate Shraddha Dhana Matparama Bhaktaste Ativa Me Priyaha. He says, these devotees are so dear to my heart. They are non-envious towards all living entities, and they are friendly to everybody, and they are very compassionate. They go door to door and request the jivas to chant the Lord's names. And they are completely free from proprietorship mentality. And they have no false ego. And in heat and cold, in summer and winter, in honor and dishonor, they keep the dualities aside, and in a focused way, they do my devotional service. Like that he says, and these devotees are, like that he gives a long list of which devotees are very dear to his heart. So, and they have no expectation from me except the opportunity for seva. So, we can read that section and know who are the devotees are very dear to his heart. In this way, in the Bhagavad Gita, 3 things I told you. First is the knowledge about Krishna being cause of all causes, essence of everything, and best of everything. You hear that knowledge, your respect for Krishna will awaken in your heart, just like Arjuna developed a very great respect. Therefore, he praised Krishna with these famous verses even before seeing Vishwarupa Darshana, which was in 11th chapter. In 10th chapter itself, Arjuna is telling, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyamadi Devamajam Vibham Ahustvam Rishayah Sarve Deva Rishir Naradas Tatha Asito Devalo Vyaso Swayam Chaiva Pravishime Sarvametat Ritam Manye Yanmam Vadasi Keshava Ahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devanadhanamaha. Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord. You are the Supreme Abode, Supreme Purifier, and you are eternally Purusha, Supreme Enjoyer. And not only I am saying it, even Asita, Devala, Vyasa, Narada, they are all glorifying you as a Supreme Lord. And now you yourself have declared it to me. And I totally accept it as truth, whatever you have spoken to me. In this way, Arjuna says, and he surrenders to Krishna. So you can see, after hearing the facts about the Lord, we should develop a firm faith and we should surrender to him like the way Arjuna surrendered. And then as we chant his holy names and study the scriptures, we can read those qualities that what Krishna expects from us. He's saying what he will do for us and what we should do for him. And one should study these things very attentively. And with a firm faith, one should execute devotion service. It's a very easy path. It's a joyful path. Susukam kartum abhyayam, he says. For one who has faith, it's a very joyful path. For one who is faithless, it's a troublesome path. For the simple, it is simple. For the complex-minded, it is complicated. Then people take to jnana or yoga and karma, many other paths, which is actually a very circuitous path, very roundabout way to approach Krishna after many lifetimes. If one wants to go to him in this very lifetime, Bhagavad Gita is the basic book, fundamental book, foundational book that Prabhupada has given us, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, for such a devotee, Krishna has given innumerable promises in the Bhagavad Gita, what he will do for the devotee. By reading those promises, read the 9th chapter, last part, some 7, 8 verses, glories of devotional service. One can read. And what knowledge I should acquire. Read the 13th chapter, 8 to 12 verses. There he tells us what are the 20 tenets of knowledge. He says that. So towards the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives the one line summary of what he expects from everybody. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. That's all. You surrender to me in one pointed way, and I will destroy all your sinful reactions, and I will bring you to me back, he says. And what are the components of surrender? Manmana, bhavamad bhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. He says, think of me. Prabhupada taught us chanting Hare Krishna. Bhavamad bhakto, become my bhakta. He taught us the life of a devotee. You wear the dress of a devotee, you wear the tilak of a devotee, you wear the kantimala, engage in devotional service, various services during the day. This is being a bhakta of Krishna. Madhyaji, worship me, the deity worship. Mam namaskuru, every morning we bow down to Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada is such an honest and transparent Acharya. He exactly taught what Krishna taught us to do. And he is teaching us how to go back to Krishna. So, such Acharyas are our supreme well-wishers. Like they are like policemen in a pathway where we are being assaulted by thieves. There are many thief-like people who are cheating us of the message of the scriptures by posing themselves as God. And personalities like Acharyas like Prabhupada come, you call for the police. Immediately the police comes with a stick and drives away those thieves, and they protect you. So we have been protected. We are awarded the best knowledge, the transparent knowledge in Guru Parampara, and we should take these messages very seriously to our hearts and not waste the human form of life. And every moment should be priceless moment. Human form of life is very rare. One should make up one's mind, in this very life I want to go back to Krishna. And there is no turning back, there is no distraction in the side. Go straight to his lotus feet. And that is possible by this type of study of the Bhagavad Gita, which opens our eyes, and chanting of the holy name with a sincere heart and inoffensive heart, uh, and uh, uh, and with no duplicity. So by chanting Hare Krishna and by studying the scriptures, we will come to know what I should do in my life to attain Krishna. It's very, very simple. So Krishna also says that my devotees call out my name lovingly, from the heart. They don't just include me in their life as one of the 20 things they do. For them, I am the main thing. Other things are secondary for them. You can be a woman, you can be a man, you can be a child, you can be a boy, whoever you be. Krishna is right in the front for you. Other things also can be accepted if need be. But the main thing for me is Krishna. So those who put Krishna as the main aspect of life, they only attain Krishna. If somebody has many other things, and then Krishna is from the side or another 20th thing, then Krishna will say, you put me in the side, I'll put you also in the side. You put me as the main thing in your life, you will definitely attain me, he says. So, I am emphasizing on the Bhagavad Gita because if we don't study the knowledge and deepen our understanding, then the conviction will not come and our bhakti will be dampened by our ignorance. And when we acquire this knowledge properly in Guru Parampara from Vaishnava Acharyas like Prabhupada and meditate on that, then chanting of the holy name will be a very joyful experience because you know whom you are calling. You know who is your well-wisher, who is your protector, who is your maintainer, who is your be-all and end-all. That knowledge is there in Bhagavad Gita itself. And then Bhagavatam is just an elaboration of Bhagavad Gita with pastimes. That becomes even more joyful and relishable. Harinam Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Krishna Bhagavan ki.